new Black Wall Street. Do it right, build wealth, live life, economic empowerment, real tips, insight on the new Black Wall Street. Yeah, it's on the new Black Wall Street. It's your host.
Hey, Grand Rising to you billionaires. Thanks so much for joining us here today on New Black Wall Street for our Money and Power show. Money and power being the two areas that we're going to focus on, being economics and also politics, or what I consider to be cash flow and cash rules. Learning a little bit more about these two areas, I believe, is going to help us make better or more educated decisions when it comes to money and the power. Money and the power. I'm your host, ERGJ, your certified financial educator, CEO of ERGJ Enterprises, ERGJ Black Bazaar, and international best-selling author of the book, The Black Billionaires Club. The book that I wrote, guys, is a study of Black wealth. It's a study of the 12 richest Black people in the world today and how they built their wealth. And I just truly believe that if you want to be wealthy, that's a big if. But if you do, I recommend that you study wealthy people. A little delay on the play. A little delay. Man, you can check that book out and find it by simply going to the website www.theblackbillionairesclub.com, www.theblackbillionairesclub.com. You can find a link in the description above or below. It's available in English and also in French. And I am this weekend, I'll begin my journey to start to my new book. I'll be working on it, starting on it this weekend. So look out for some information as we'll start a launch campaign and all that good stuff for the next book, right? We got to update this thing. It's time to update this thing. But anyway, I'm your host again. Today's episode is being brought to you by ERGJ Black Bazaar. Something ain't working. What's going on? Nothing's moving. Nothing is moving. All right, ERGJ Black Bazaar, the Afrocentric marketplace, which specializes in Afrocentric home decor, personal care products, and also Black art-inspired gifts. Here at ERGJ Black Bazaar, check us out by going to the website www.theblackbazaar.com, www.theblackbazaar.com. We got your CBD hemp products, personal protective equipment, and we're going to learn a little something today. Not learn something, but this coronavirus thing, it ain't went away yet. So it's still popping up globally, although we are maybe in some local areas as well, home decor and other things. And we've added a new section here that we're proud to talk about today as we highlight our Black-owned business of the day. Just come on over to ERGJ Black Bazaar, click on Black-owned business partners, and you'll find a whole bunch of other Black-owned businesses that you can do business with. And today we want to feature Premier Online Education. So when you come here in the site, you find Premier, you'll see it's no cost because all I want you to do is come on to the comments and then click on their link or read about them. Click on their link if it's something that can work for you. And so this is premieronlineeducation.com, premieronlineeducation.com. And here is their website, Black-owned business out of, I think, South Carolina. They they specialize in educating and bringing CEs to all your barbers and salons and things like that, I believe. You can find out more about them. They have, continuing education credits. And then also, I believe it shows, where they do business at. So South Carolina, North Carolina, Washington, D.C., Georgia, Texas, and Florida is coming soon. So they're starting in the Southeast and they're venturing out further as I believe they're looking to cover all 50 states at some point in time as they cover, as God enlarges their territory. So if you happen to be in that space or know people that's in that space that that need to add to what they have learned, well, check out Premier Online Education in the Carolina areas, Washington, D.C., Georgia, currently right now. And then you'll see Texas and Florida coming up soon. So if you know some barbers, some hairstylists, all that good stuff, man, check out Premier Online Education, a Black-owned business helping those other businesses to stay in business. And of course, you can find more Black-owned business by coming over to ERGJ Black Bazaar. Click on the Black-owned business partner section, and you'll find more Black-owned businesses that you can choose to do business with. This is what we call not only just group economics, it's what we call group marketing. That's right, group marketing. Everybody put it on some marketing. Marketing is where you actually work to bring customers to your business. And we believe in helping other Black-owned businesses do that as we further the Buy Black movement, Man, hit the like button, the share button if you care, like button, the share button if you care. Let's find out who has joined us here this morning on this terrific Thursday. I can't believe it's Thursday already. Time is flying by. Grand rising to you, Queen. Phyllis is in the house. Loki, Slick, Saucy. Grand rising to you, brother. Thanks so much for joining us here today. Queen Yvette has joined us here as well. King Thomas Freeman out of Louisville, Kentucky. That's right, man. Float like a butterfly. Sting like a bee. Home of Muhammad Ali. Queen Vivian is in the house, man. Thanks so much for joining us here today on the Money and Power Show. King Carlton has joined us here today, man. That's right. Sydney, Mr. Mealy is in the house out of Houston, Texas. Thanks so much for joining us here today on the Money and Power Show. Queen Shanrika has joined us today out of North Carolina. Boston is representing here today as well. That's right, man. Marketing, group marketing. That's what we do. Marketing. Queen Tiffany has joined us here today. Good morning to you out of Detroit. The Bad Boys for Life. Thanks so much for joining us here today on the Money and Power Show. Now, I got so much I probably want to cover today. We got the Lord, wait a second. King Ryan Great Scott has joined us today. Grand rising here on the Money and Power Show. So much we want to cover here today as we have our power piece or our political piece, and we have some money stuff we're going to talk about here today on the Money and Power Show. Moving into Thursday, we'll look at the market to see what's going on. Past couple of days have not been fair so well, but hey, some of you guys woke up. How many guys woke up this morning to some dividends to help ease your pain a little bit? How many guys, if you woke up to some dividends this morning, go and put in the console hashtag dividend. I got 2 of them this morning. And I said we're moving into those months where reporting is happening. They're paying out the dividends, and they're going to give a guidance and outlook as to what they see for the future for these particular companies. And so some of y'all woke up to some money this morning. You woke up to more money this morning than you went to bed with last night. That means that your money was making money while you sleep. And if you learn how to do that, eventually you can stop working for the money. That's right. You can start working for the money. Grand Rising Queen Jennifer's in the house. Happy Thursday to you. King Sean John Jenkins in the house, man. Thanks so much for joining us today on the Money and Power Show. You woke up to some money this morning. For those that did, or those that know what that feeling is, because, it's all different dates for different things. How does that feel? I just want to think about that for a second. For those that know that feeling, that have had that experience, either you might not have woke up to some money this morning, but you've done it in the past. You wake up in the morning, you look at your account, and you see that magically you have more money when you woke up than you went to bed than when you went to bed at night. I mean, last night you went to bed, you worked hard yesterday. I mean, you burned the midnight oil, you put in your work, you finally got tired and said it's time to go to sleep. And then you went to bed, you had some sweet dreams, and you woke up, you said, let me just look around and see what's going on. And you looked at your account. You said, wait a second. I got more money. I woke up to some money. Man, how does that feel? I mean, that just feels absolutely phenomenal. And that's right, Brother Carlson. As he said, man, money never sleeps. Everybody put that in the comments below. Money never sleeps. Money is always moving. Money is always making, money is always transacting. We might go to sleep, but money never goes to sleep. And so you get in a game where your money ain't sleeping, right? Because some of us got money in hibernation. I mean, some of us got money in places that ain't doing nothing. But you get into the game where your money ain't sleeping, you get into the game of passive income. My goodness, man, how does it feel when? That's right, man, dividend. That's right, man. You woke up this morning, absolute dividend, man. Feels amazing. Woke up to some dividends. That's right, man. Hey, every little day, don't call it tiny. Because listen, I got a $10.47 dividend this morning. And you know what I was thinking? I was like, some people don't even make that per hour. And I woke up to it in the morning. Amazing. Feels fantastic. Money never sleeps. What's going on with your Queen? Glenda is in the house, man. Thanks so much for joining. Money never sleeps. So we're going to get into some money this morning right after we get our political piece. as we're going to dive into our Black History Reader, and y'all know Dr. Claude Anderson by now, he be giving us a whole bunch of pineapple moments. And so Dr. Claude Anderson, one of the great minds of our time, written a book called The Black History Reader. I believe one of his jewels it's going to get slept over because it's just one of those books that you know it's not easy to read, but it's filled with a whole bunch of information. And if you thirst for knowledge, then you will. Oh, my bad. If you thirst for knowledge, then you will discover this book. Black History Reader is a political piece. It's 101 questions that you never thought to ask. We're moving into this historical irony section of this particular book with question number 23. And that is, who were the first humans on Earth and in the Americas? Who were the first humans? And now he's getting into history and all that good stuff. So let's find out what brother Dr. Claude Anderson, also the author of Powernomics, also the author of the book Black Labor, White Wealth, has for us here today as he talks a little bit about who were the first humans on Earth and in the Americas. Money and Power Show, our political or our power piece. Let's read. After years of studying archaeological artifacts, DNA links, and genes in populations around the world, a large body of scientists have repeatedly concluded that the first humans originated in Eastern Africa. However, there are also scientists who have produced opposing research proclaiming that the first humans originated in Europe, China, or Australia instead of Africa. Their arguments are puzzling and perplexing since biologists and geneticists recognize that all colors are contained only in melanated or dark cells. Anthony T. Browder, in his first book, From the Brower Files, stated a basic biological fact when he wrote that the black race can produce a race of brown, yellow, and white people, but it's impossible for a race of black people to be produced from white, yellow, or brown people. In 1871, Charles Darwin, who became known earlier for his theories on the origin of the species, publicly credited Black Africa as the cradle of all mankind. As would be expected, in response to the insatiable curiosity of people regarding where humans came from, theories about the origin of mankind usually track whatever attitude is considered politically correct at the time. But people expect and prefer that any origin of mankind theories align with the population group that is dominant and most preferred. Since Black people hold such a low socioeconomic status in world societies, it is only natural that many people find it offensive for science to imply that their ancestors were Black or that they have Black blood surging through their veins. They prefer to bury their African lineage and identify instead with a political state language or the culture of their country of origin. For whites, Asians, and other non-Blacks to have feelings of superiority, they need positive images of themselves over Blacks. For centuries, ethnic and religious groups have propagandized negative images of Africa while they exploited the continent of its material resources. It is rare. Now, it is the rare non-Black person who chooses to accept their linkage to African or Blackness. The word Africa was originally defined as the land of the Blacks. Just like in America, other countries have established a ranking order of social acceptability for population within their borders. In almost every country, the people have been indoctrinated to assign Black people or those persons of African descent to the lowest levels of acceptability. For nearly 2 centuries, inquiring minds have studied everything from the single-cell amoeba to buried bones and fossilized footprints to determine the cradle of mankind. National Geographic magazine published a migration pattern that tracked Black people as they moved from Africa across the Bering Straits into the North American continent and became the original Native Americans. Similarly, early 2000, the Discovery Channel aired The Real Eve, a documentary on the origin of humankind. Archaeologists use secular records, archaeological artifacts, and other tools to establish that the birthplace of Eve, the female from whom all life descended, was African. They use genetic material and other scientific evidence to track humans from their original birthplace in Africa and their migration patterns around the world. The timeline presentation showed how human traits mutated according to their migration patterns and in response to changing climatic conditions. The color Black is powerful. Everybody put in the console, black is powerful. The color black is powerful. It is the base and contains the essence of all colors. It is physically impossible for Asians, whites, Latinos, Chinese, or Australians to be the first humankind on Earth. Recognition as the first people on Earth makes black people very special and unique. As amazing as that fact is, blacks as a race have not yet demanded the respect that should accompany the scientific finding. They have not proclaimed the work of those scientists that identified blacks as the world's first humans and the labor engine that drove economic development around the world. The first humans were black, and their black descendants should claim them in the name of black exceptionalism, which is the key to black people's survival and empowerment. Black is powerful. Black is powerful. That's our power piece from Dr. Claude Anderson. Again, a book written called The Black History Reader. It's 101 questions that you never thought to ask. 101 questions that you never thought to ask. Now we'll get into our money piece, guys. We're going to look at the market. Let's catch up on your comments here. That's right. Money never sleeps, man. Got that dividend investing seed. Shawan already still waiting on you to join the Black Billionaires Club. Aboriginals from the continent of Africa were first humans on this earth. The color black is powerful. Black is powerful. Black is powerful. All others are African birth defects. Caucasian white people are nothing more than African albinos. Absolutely. Black is powerful. Got some pineapple moments going on as well. Black is powerful. Man, Dr. Claude Anderson be bringing it. That's right, man. Dr. Claude Anderson be absolutely bringing it here in the morning. So we've covered our black business of the day. Take a look at everything else. Let's take a look at some news that you can use as we hop on in to the market this morning. Black is powerful. That's right, man. I appreciate you, Siobhan. No problem at all. As we take a look at some news that you can use as we hop into the market this morning, or into the news this morning, the money news this morning from CNN. Let me see if I probably need to bring it up. Okay. So I again, I'm going to see if I see anything here that's worth talking about. The first thing, okay, I'm sorry, I never covered this, and I'm glad that Brother Carlton kind of brings this out. He brought this up like 2 days ago. But up at the top, in case you guys don't know, right here in this section is where we have our world indexes and what we consider to be futures for our local indexes. Local index being the Dow, the S&P, and the NASDAQ. So every morning we can look at this and get an idea as to how the money has been moving overnight before the market opens, and typically it follows where this is. So, for example, the Dow futures is down 2%. Gives us an indication that the Dow will probably open up lower this morning than it was yesterday. The S&P 500 is down 2%, giving us an indication that S&P 500 will probably open up lower than it did yesterday. And the NASDAQ is over here, and it's down. I can't really see it. I don't like doing that. I don't want to do that. I wanted to scroll over. It's down a couple points. I don't know if it's going to really show. See, it ain't even really giving me the whole. At any rate, you guys can see. Let me see if we do this again. Okay, the NASDAQ is down 1.4% here, representing that it will probably open up lower this morning than it was. And here's some of the reasons why. The first article here, global stocks drop. Why? Because as coronavirus fears return. So the coronavirus pandemic is not complete. Of course, I believe here in America, we're feeling like it's starting to subside, but there really has been no cure. Social distancing has worked to a point, but the markets and the economy is opening back up. But there's a global market, and I guess the pandemic is still spreading. So it would be useful to still look at what's going on with Corona, which I can do here. We'll take a look at a little coronavirus update here in just a second. So there are, and because as it may travel to other countries, they're going to have similar economic impact that China had when it came to China, that the United States had when it came into the United States, and then as it may go to other countries as it may spread. So it'll be good to look at coronavirus this morning to see what's going on, and then we'll get into some more money. Let's see here. The Fed says it will keep stimulus coming for years. That's good for the market. That's good for the market. They keep talking about a recession, but there's a whole, here they say one thing here, and there's a belief that a recession is on the brink, obviously with a lot of people unemployed. But the market is not showing that just yet. Now we are having a correction right now. There are retractions in the market, but it only takes one piece of good news for the market to just really skyrocket right back up. And obviously there are some things that are changing as it relates to how people do business. Starbucks is closing up to 400 stores and shifting to takeout strategy. So this is kind of the way. Once Starbucks does this, then other businesses will follow suit, and they'll be adjusting, especially your restaurants, how they do business to a takeout strategy. Okay, so you'll have less and less businesses that are open for you and I to go in to eat. Now, why is this important? This is important because, especially important to Black folk, because a lot of us have businesses that are sit-in businesses, right? Which again, what we must understand is that, hey, if we want to stay in business, then we have to adjust our strategy as well. And whether it be call, pick up, curbside, all that stuff. This is things that many we may not necessarily have the manpower to do, but we got to figure out how we're going to do it. Now, the cool thing is that, we do have services like Uber Eats and Grubhub and whatever, DoorDash or whatever else is out there to help. But hear me very clearly, because, we're known for having restaurants. I mean, we might not have a grocery store, but we got restaurants. Evolve. Everybody putting down so evolve. Black folk, please, when it comes to business, evolve. You see what's going on. You cannot be hard-headed and say, we're going to keep doing things how we've been doing. Matter of fact, I don't even think you can, because of the laws that will be passed, because of the stipulations that if you don't and something happens, lawsuits that will come after you. So you have to evolve. You have to find a way to adjust how you do business so that you can stay in business. You must find a way to adjust how you do business so that you can stay in business. All right, due to Memorial Day holiday, the coronavirus is drastically on the rise. But they got Memorial Day holiday. Obviously, Sean, they're talking about the protests and stuff as well. That is causing that. And obviously, and then we're starting to see, I don't know about you guys, but I'm starting to see a whole bunch of testing sites go up, especially in the hood in which I live, which basically, if you're testing more, you're going to find more people that got it, right? That's the name of the game, right? So that's kind of important. Now let's take a look at and see if what they're saying here is congruent with what we see with stats for what we know. So I'm going to come over here to coronavirus.help. It was last updated 4 minutes ago on June, and it's now June 11th. So here we have, you can look at world stats, total confirmed cases across the world, 7.4 million. And then we can kind of look at countries individually. United States being the biggest impacted country as far as infections, 2 million people across the United States. But only 115,000 of those that have been affected have been reportedly have died due to coronavirus. There have been over 800,000 people that have recovered after being infected by coronavirus, and there's still 1.1 million active. And out of those active, reportedly 16,000 are in critical condition, and they're fighting for their life as it relates to this coronavirus. Now, interestingly enough, what I don't see here, I see that China, which was the very first, they only had 84,000. I'm not quite sure how big the population is in China, but notice how far down the list China is, which currently only has 114 active cases based upon what they have reported. So they had 84,000 in their time, 79,000 of those people recovered, and they're currently only dealing with 114,000. China and Switzerland seem to, kind of be leading the way as far as recovery is concerned. But next up, after the United States, who no one's really talking about, Brazil has ramped up. Russia has ramped up. United Kingdom has ramped up. We knew about Spain and Italy. Peru has ramped up as far as their infections or infections that have been reported. Now, we don't know whether they had it before and they just started doing testing to confirm who has it, or even if these numbers are accurate. But we're just going to go with it because we have the date. So Brazil is ramping up. Brazil had 775,000 infections so far. 397 as of today, and then recovered 413,000. But look at Russia. Russia has 8,800 new cases in the past 24 hours. Wow, that's pretty big. 8,800 new cases in the past 24 hours. So this is the spread of this coronavirus. Now, we're in the United States, so we'll take a look here and see if there's anything alarming when we look at the United States, because we can look at state by state. And let me make sure I got this thing up. Okay, you guys can see it. Okay, just making sure. So we're going to do a coronavirus update today. All right, so still the biggest impacted state was New York, and obviously right next to it, New Jersey. So those two have been the two biggest impacted states. We don't have any current information on them as it relates. So you're probably not breaking it down fully by state. California, 139,000. And then we start going down and down and down. We are starting to see here's what I want to do. Here's another place that you guys go. Here's another great place. You can just go to Facebook. Become a Facebook. What I like about Facebook as well, what they're doing, they're providing information from Johns Hopkins. Click here on the COVID-19. You can get it's an information center that you can take a look at. And I think it's going to pop up for me for my city or my country. So we have United States surpasses 2 million. This year's Coachella and Stagecoach Festival canceled. Iowa State Fair canceled for the first time since World War II. And then I can take a look here at a graph. It'll recognize where I'm located, right? So I'm in DeKalb County, Georgia. If you guys want to see something relative to your county, your state, this is a good place to go as well. So DeKalb County, only 4,000 confirmed cases in the county of DeKalb, 5,300 in the state of Georgia, 136 deaths reported in DeKalb County, 2,300 deaths reported in Georgia total. Here's the curve that they talk about. That's it for the DeKalb County curve. We have had an increase lately, right? So this over 66 new cases as of yesterday. So that this curve is starting to go back up, right? We were down, had some pretty minimal days, now starting to go back up. Obviously, testing has something to do with that. We're starting to see a curve in Georgia go back up, 731 cases over the past 24 hours. This curve was flattened, and it was starting to decline, but now it's going back up. So we're not quite out of the woods yet. Even globally, it's starting to go back up. So yeah, guess what, guys? We still sell personal protective equipment. Still protect yourself, even though the world or the economy is opening up. The economy has nothing to do with your health, by the way. Nothing to do with your health. So here, right, it's a quick coronavirus update. If you want to see anything in particular, let me know of the state and I'll pull it up. Right, Donald Trump and his piss poor administration has failed miserably in preventing the country from reaching pandemic levels. Every death from this pandemic should have Donald Trump's name on his death certificate. Man, hey, you know what? That could be true. I mean, you could say that as well, but we can also talk about the individual responsibility of people. Right, so yes, the administration and the leadership is, we can say, is piss poor. But what about the leadership itself? Right, the leadership itself. If we as people, right, we can. This is an argument we can make, right? We can say, hey, yes, the state or the country or whatever has opened up or whatever. right? But what does that have to do with my personal decision? My personal decision to go to the grocery store, go to the post office, go to the bank, go to work, not wear a mask, not have my sanitizer, not really be careful. There's a lot that's making that personal decision. And we can't necessarily say we can't absolve personal responsibility for your life and for your children's life and say it's in the hands of someone else. I think that's a little irresponsible. Yes, the administration could handle it better. And also, yes, individuals can handle it better. So it's a responsibility across the board. But you know what, Sean, here's the deal. I don't put my life in the hands of Donald Trump. So I don't really care what Donald Trump does or what he says or anything. Because my life, what I choose to do with my life is not predicated on whatever the hell Donald Trump or the administration or the laws that's passed or opening up the economy or anything like that. It has no bearing on what I choose to do. So I can choose to wear the mask or not wear the mask. That's a choice, free will. I can choose to stay home. I can choose to go out. I can choose to shop online. I can choose to go to the store. I can choose to have hand sanitizer masks. I can choose not to. These are choices, and we understand these choices could have consequences based upon the choices that we as individuals make. So yes, both and both. They both play a role. You know what? How many guys went to vote? How many guys went to vote? And in line, when you were in line to vote, if you did go to vote, some people wore a mask, some people didn't. Choice. Everybody put in the console choice. It's a choice. And now I'm not saying that the people who didn't wear masks, they have attracted got sick or not. I don't know. But we do know it's a choice. How many guys go to the grocery store and you see the clerks, people who work at the grocery store, some wear masks, some don't. You go and check out, some got it on, some don't. I don't know. But what I do know, it's a choice. And I'm just choosing to protect myself. I'm just choosing to protect, because who knows when it's over? Who, you know what I'm saying? China says we only got 114 cases left. Man, United States. Now, again, I agree with you, Sean, being that, here in the United States, we, our main is greed, right? Greed. But if we have a 1.1 million active cases, if this number is correct, then I'm not taking chances with that one boo-boo the fool who out there who don't know they got it and is still spreading. It's just like AIDS or something, right? I'm not taking a chance. Me personally, I'm not taking a chance. Anyway, so just know the numbers, make your adjustments accordingly, and keep living as long as possible. Okay? Keep living as long as possible. All right, guys, so let's take a look here at the market from yesterday. Quick coronavirus update. Therefore, so again, the NASDAQ still holding steady as far as it's up yesterday, still doing okay. The Dow and S&P 500, not so much. So hopefully, as you may look at your portfolios, do have some companies that are thriving, even while some are starting to decline. But again, those dividends help out a whole lot. Yesterday, we had Aptiv and Salesforce did pretty good, but generally speaking, you had a lot of decline. Norwegian was down 14%, and Kohl's and Carnival down. These are 10% downs or declines in their stock price. Oil was down 4%. Gold and silver back up. So as coronavirus fears come back into the market, which we don't quite see yet because we're still sitting at 66, meaning that the market, the investors are not as fearful as these numbers may indicate for 1 or 2 day experience. It's going to have to be a little bit more for us to really start getting to a point where we're like, okay, let's sell some stuff off. The Dow's negative 5% for the year. NASDAQ's up 11% for the year. So if you are in your 401ks or your retirement accounts, if you made some adjustments to your what do they call it, your allowances, is that the word I'm looking for? Your allocations. And you switch to more of a technology-driven type of portfolio in your retirement, you're still doing pretty well as it relates to building your capital up so that you can retire. And it's not to say that the other areas aren't doing well for you. Just understand that this is what's been doing well, and it makes sense. A lot of the country is using more technology to do business. A lot of the country is using more technology to transact and shop and all that stuff. And so you and I, we must roll with the punches. You and I must move as society moves. And by following the money, everybody put it down, so follow the money. And following the money, you can move as money moves. You can make adjustments as money makes adjustments, right? So let's see here. Kids up in the comment. There were thousands of protesters out there with no mask or anything. We've seen that, right? If the country has put a dollar figure on this pandemic, we'll find it is a hell of a lot cheaper to get rid of ourselves of Donald Trump. He has cost this country too much and must be eliminated by any means necessary. That's a political stance. And here's the question, Sean: you eliminate him. Who are you advocating to put in his place? Because somebody got to go there. And it seems like the opponent, I don't know. I think it's going to be Biden. I'm not quite sure. I mean, because the Republican side is going to be Donald Trump. Who are you advocating on the Democratic side? Because we just had elections. So I don't know who's going to be filling that side, or I guess the independent side. I don't know who's on the independent side. So, yeah, I mean, if he must be eliminated by any means necessary, who do you want to put in his place based upon who's available that we can get behind? Understanding that the primary is we just missed the primaries on Tuesday. So follow the money, guys. Follow the money. Follow the money. Let's see what else I got here today. So we can expect, again, based upon the futures, we can expect the market to probably open up a little bit lower today, and probably another decline day as markets retreat, as global stocks drop. And as I'm saying, if you have a portfolio of some things that you believe in, it's just giving you more of an opportunity to buy low as you wait. And that's why them dividends feel so good. It's like, oh, okay, now I just got $10. That's cool. If it drops again, so be it. I will make the adjustments as necessary. Here's your cryptocurrency market, guys. Here's what's going on with crypto. We can probably as the markets retreat and as money may move, this might be a place that it goes into cryptocurrency, as we saw before. We just saw this happen. We just saw this happen 3 months ago, as we saw kind of Bitcoin rise. But anyway, cryptocurrency, digital money, and we're in a digital age. This could be a place where you learn, and it could be another market that you become proficient or perfect or become an expert in, and you can make some money over here too. But I would just like to introduce it because it's something that's new to many of us, but it's something that really has a lot of money over here. Cryptocurrencies, there's currently 5,500 cryptocurrencies in the market today. There's over 22,000 places that you can actually buy and or sell cryptocurrency. There's $78 billion in this whole market, right? And Bitcoin dominates. About 65% of that money is in this Bitcoin. So somebody said to me yesterday, they came across this opportunity and they believe that it could overtake Bitcoin. I said, overtake Bitcoin? Yeah, right. Like you're talking about 180. Everything's possible, but 180 billion dollars is in Bitcoin. And my question would be, if you into this space, do you got Bitcoin? Do you got the Titanic? Do you got a piece of this? While you might be looking at other things in this cryptocurrency space, why not get you a little bit of the top dog? $180 billion. It's just like saying, you know what, we got Amazon and Apple over here, which are the biggest, greatest companies that represent the stock market. If you're going to start anywhere, why not start with those two? Same thing here. Bitcoin is representing the biggest, largest digital currency or coin or cryptocurrency in the market. If you're going to get into this market, why not start there? That's just how my philosophy is. Why not start with the big dogs, as I might start looking at some other little dogs along the way. So that's a little update there for you guys as it relates to the cryptocurrency space, the digital currency space as well. Absolutely. So, Sean, you said a qualified position with something called experience. That's great. Or you just, I mean, do you have somebody in mind, or are you just saying, hey, we might not get that this year because we're into election time now. So I don't know. Have you identified a qualified politician, or we're just kind of like hopeful that one will pop up, in the next term? I don't know. Right? The Dow futures is down 500 points. Absolutely. So we've had a political piece, a little introduction into money this morning as well. And you guys know what time it is. It's time for the richest man in Babylon. We'll continue along our journey here to learn more about money and learn about what we can do from a good great book that's only $10. And in this book, we are going through the 7 cures right now, the section of 7 cures for a lean purse. We have the richest man in Babylon named Arcad, who was summoned by the president and or king of the time because he was the richest man, and the king wanted him to teach the common people, the rest of the people, how they could be rich as well, or wealthy as well. He said, "Sure, king, you call me. I'll be more than happy to help my fellow men." So he went to he brought 100 men in from the town, from the city, into a temple of learning, and he started to have conversation and dialogue with them, and try to give them some tips on what they could do, some steps on that what they could do in order to build wealth. The first step that he said, as it relates to fixing the money problem, or 7 cures for a lean person, first solution was discipline. He said, "Hey man, you got to discipline yourself to the point where you are spending no more than 90% of your income. You pay yourself first at least 10% of everything that comes into your hand. That's going to take discipline." Then he said, step number 2 is going to take self-control. I want you to control your expenses to make sure that you don't spend more than 90%. In other words, stay out of debt. That's another way to say it as well. Don't spend more than you earn. That takes a little discipline to control your expenses. If you control your if you control yourself, then you can control your expenses. Next, he said, okay, now that you've done that, now the step 3 is I want you to learn how to multiply money. Learn how to become a lender instead of a borrower. That's the biblical. And he said, hey man, you get to this space, you're multiplying your money, you're growing wealth rapidly, you're on a good trajectory to not only get rich, but to build wealth and maintain it. And he said, okay, now that you're on that process, you're on that journey of building wealth, here's step number 4. I want you to learn how to protect what you have built. Protect what you have built. And he said, hey, man, in order to do this, you want to make sure that you consult with wise men. You let their wisdom protect your treasures from loss. Because once you get a little bit of money, a whole bunch of opportunities are going to come across your path, and you may not be able to decipher what's a good opportunity or a safe opportunity versus a very risky one. Consult with wise men and let their wisdom protect your treasure from loss. Then the 5th cure, he said, hey, now that you got your money going right, now that you protected your wealth, I want you to own your own home. I want you to go ahead and switch from being a renter to being an owner, not just a buyer. And it may take you a little while to get to the place where you own it directly, but I want you to work on getting a deed in your name. This makes a space that's going to be what we consider to be stable for your household, stable for your family. The wife of your wife is going to be happy, and if your wife is happy, she's going to make sure you're happy. And now we get into the 6th cure. Now we're getting to the 6th cure for a lean person. 6th cure to fix the money problem. 6th cure to fix the money problem. And here's the 6th cure coming from the richest man in Babylon. To ensure a future income. So you're working on building wealth. You're kind of doing that yourself, but you want to ensure that the money never stops. Ensure a future income. Everybody putting that in the comments below. Ensure a future income. The richest man in Babylon, the 6th cure for a lean purse, the 6th cure for a broke bank account, the 6th cure for a hole in your wallet, the 6th remedy or solution to fix the money problem. Ensure a future income. Let's read. The life of every man proceeds from his childhood to old age. This is the path of life, and no man can deviate from it unless the gods call him prematurely to the world beyond. Therefore, do I say that it behooves a man to make preparation for a suitable income in the days to come, when he is no longer young, and to make preparations for his family, should he no longer be with them to comfort and support them. So what did he just say? He said, man, to ensure future income, to make sure that when you can no longer work, that you're still making money. And to ensure that when you may no longer be here, your family is still getting income from your life. To make preparation, to make preparation, everybody put in console prepare. To make preparation for a suitable income in the days to come, when he is no longer young, and to make preparations for his family, should he no longer be with them to comfort and support them. Now, this suitable income when you're no longer young, this is what we call retirement today. This is also could be in your retirement. It could be some things that happen, like to a family member of mine where they got fired before they could retire. To prepare a suitable income when you are no longer young and you no longer are able to work. To prepare a suitable income should you no longer be here, should you die. A suitable income for your comfort, to comfort and support your family. This lesson shall instruct you in providing a full purse when time has made thee less able to earn. So Arcad addresses class upon the sixth day. The man who, because of his understanding of the laws of wealth, acquireth a growing surplus, should give thought to those future days. Future days. Everybody put in the console, think about the future. Let me repeat this again. The man who, because of his understanding of the laws of wealth, acquireth a growing surplus, he should give thought. He should think about the future. He should plan certain investments or provision that may endure safely for many years, yet will be available when the time arrives, which he has so wisely anticipated. Think about the future. Plan. Anticipate. Think about the future. Plan. Anticipate. Think about the future. Plan. Anticipate. This is wise counsel, right? Because many of us, let's be honest, we've been in a state, for many people that I know, been in a state of getting it, right? I'm going to get up and I'm going to go get it. I'm going to get up and I'm going to go get it every day. Get up and go get it. Thinking about today. Not always thinking about the future. Think about the future. Plan. Anticipate. There are diverse ways by which a man may provide with safety for his future. He may provide a hiding place and there bury a secret treasure. Yet, no matter with what skill it be hidden, it may nevertheless become the loot of thieves. For this reason, I recommend not this plan. Now, don't go put your money under a mattress. I don't recommend that. A man might buy houses or lands for this purpose. If wisely chosen as to their usefulness and value in the future, they are permanent in their value and their earnings or their sale will provide well for his purpose. What did he just say? Real estate. Real estate. You're building up all this wealth. You're on the land. You've learned how to discipline yourself. You pay yourself first. You learn how to multiply your money. You're guarding it. You're protecting it from loss. You got your own home now. Now you might get into a space where you're in real estate. That's what he's talking about. A man may loan a small sum to the moneylender and increase it at regular periods, becoming a lender. The rental which the moneylender adds to this will largely add to its increase. I do know a sandal maker named Anson, who explained to me not long ago that each week for 8 years he had deposited with the moneylender 2 pieces of silver. The moneylender had but recently given him an accounting over which he greatly rejoiced. The total of his small deposits with their rental at the customary rate of 1/4 their value or 25% their value for each 4 years had now become 1,040 pieces of silver. Now he's saying, hey, become a lender. Put your money out there with people, money lenders. And obviously, money lender, you may think of a bank, but money lenders, and you become a lender, you become a bank to other people. You got all this money that you built up, that you stored over time. Now you can use this money to lend out, and it can come back to you at regular intervals. Some of us that might be dividends, because you're actually giving your money. When you invest in a stock in a business, you're investing your money. You're giving your money to the use of that business. Becoming a lender. Now, the Bible is clear, as it says, blessed are you. You are blessed, so blessed that you will borrow not, and you will lend to many nations. That many nations means to many places as well. You have different places that you're lending your money out after you have built it, obviously. And it comes back to you with interest or with profits or whatever you want to call it. Real estate is another place that you might consider putting money in order that it may either earn you some rentals, which is you're now a landlord, or it may bring back some type of return over time, which could be dividends through REITs, or just by owning it and it appreciating over time and you sell it later could bring back capital gains. Real estate, lending, ensuring a future income. Ensuring for yourself a future income that either works for you when you can no longer work or works for your family when you are no longer here. He said, I did gladly encourage him further by demonstrating to him with my knowledge of the numbers that in 12 years more, if he would keep his regular deposits of but 2 pieces of silver each week, the moneylender would then owe him 4,000 pieces of silver, a worthy competence for the rest of his life. This is also getting to the space of insurance. Insurance is something that you pay a regularly deposit into. It builds up over time, and then depending upon the policy that you have, it can pay out a handsome amount to your family if you should depart. So it's 2 places here that we're talking about. We're talking about retirement, a plan for retirement, a plan to have income when you can no longer work, and also a plan for your family to have income should you no longer be here. Should the gods call you home prematurely. That will be a retirement plan, which would include an insurance, a life insurance plan, a retirement plan, and to include life insurance plan. And all of that kind of together is like a wealth plan. Let's just call it a wealth plan. It includes retirement. It includes insurance. It includes these things. It includes your real estate. It's really your whole wealth portfolio. Everybody put also wealth portfolio. Your wealth portfolio. Have you given some thought to your future? Have you begun to plan how you're going to be making money when you no longer are able to work? Have you considered how you'll take care of your family if the gods should call you home, or God should call you home prematurely? I like that, Anthony. He said a wealth transfer plan. A wealth transfer plan. Hey, and brother, and we got to bring you on, man. I'm still. I don't think you got back to me on a date that you'll be able to join us. Tomorrow we're gonna have Hecka here. Tomorrow, Monday we'll have Mr. Sheila. Anthony, let me know if if the 22nd is a good date for you. Inbox me, let me know if it's a good date for you to come on, educate us on a little bit on life insurance. Definitely love to have you on the Money and Power Show to give us a little education on life insurance. Part of our wealth transfer plan. Our wealth transfer plan. Now, obviously, we're working to implement principles that help us build wealth. Right? Get out of debt, get rich, build wealth. But then we begin to start to think about how am I going to transfer this wealth so that my family and or my community will be able to benefit from all of the work that I did to build this thing up. All the work that I did during my lifetime to leave an inheritance to my children's children. Okay? We still got more to go. We'll finish this up tomorrow as far as our 6 cure for a lean purse. In the comments below, I'd like for you to share something that you learned today. Something that you learned today. We don't do this just to do this. Did you have a pineapple moment today as we're talking about money and the power? I'm simply asking you to answer this question in the comments below. Was this worth your time and why? Whether you've been here for an hour or you've been here for 15 minutes, our job, my goal is to bring value into your life. As we have free financial education for the nation. It's free. All you have to do is show up or watch the replay. It's available. Okay, it is available. Today we've covered the power section as we learned a little bit about the original people from Dr. Claude Anderson. We've looked at coronavirus in an update to see what's going on with that thing as it's having an impact on the markets or the money section. We have now covered, again, continued along our journey into The Richest Man of Babylon, one of the greatest financial education books ever written. We're just going through it day by day, moment by moment, learning from it, using it as a tool to educate ourselves. And it's not just enough to get the knowledge. The question is, will we actually apply it and then turn that knowledge into wisdom? Applied knowledge is wisdom. Gloria McCrary, another McGlory. Thanks so much for joining us, Ms. McCrary. Be safe, man. Money for life, insurance, absolutely. Well, beautiful people, I am ERGJ, your certified financial educator. I want to say thanks so much for joining us here today on the Money and Power Show. We'll be back tomorrow, 8 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. We will have a special guest to talk a little bit about crowdfunding, or what we would call not just what we would call group economics. We're going to talk group economics tomorrow on Financial Friday. I'll make sure that he's here tomorrow. Brother Anthony, if you can confirm if we can bring you on the 22nd, which would be Black Man Monday, that would be great as well. But I want you guys to remember this, that it takes a village. And it starts with us. Let's build as we climb together. We all we got, beautiful people. Matter of fact, we all we need. And thank God that's more than enough. Until next episode, you know what time it is. It's time to get up, to get out, and go get something. It's the DJ. Hit the music.
The new Black Wall Street. Thanks you for joining the show. We gave a lot of great tips, but it's time to go. Take the knowledge we shared, hope you use it and grow. We'll see you all there at the next episode of the new Black Wall Street. The new Black Wall Street.